Sentence forms. Writers use a range of sentence forms in creating their texts. They can serve different purposes and create different effects. Being able to spot these and comment upon their use can be useful when you are responding to a question about language effects. Sentences can vary in many different ways relating to, for example, syntax, the order in which the words are arranged in the sentence, and how punctuation is used, and it can be valuable to comment on this if you feel it creates a particular effect. Here, we are going to concentrate on the 3 basic sentence types. Simple, compound, complex, sentence fragment, minor sentence. We will also look briefly at an additional term, the sentence fragment, sometimes known as a minor sentence. In relation to grammar, these have quite specific meanings, and could be easily misused. Look at the 2 sentences below. 1. The beautiful, wild African giraffe from Wiltshire Impressive Longleat Safari and Adventure Park was only born 3 short days ago. 2. They went home before dark. Even though the first sentence seems very long and complicated, in grammatical terms it is a simple sentence. And even though the second sentence is very brief, in grammatical terms it is a complex sentence. So how do we work out the difference? A good way of getting to grips with sentence types is to think about how bits of language are put together to make sentences, and what those bits of language are. First of all, we have words. Words can then be put together into what we call phrases. A phrase is a combination of words which creates a short piece of information. For example, the grey bird is a noun phrase, a short bit of information containing a noun. When this is put together with other bits of information, it creates a clause. The grey bird flew is an example of a clause, a group of words that includes a subject and a verb. In this example, the noun phrase, the grey bird, is the subject, and flew is the verb. Sentences are made up of one or more clauses. Simple sentences. A simple sentence is a sentence which consists of a single clause, containing a subject and a verb and putting across one idea. The grey bird flew is a simple sentence. Compound sentence. A compound sentence is a sentence which puts 2 or more independent clauses together into one sentence by using a coordinating conjunction, or a semicolon, between them. Coordinating conjunctions. For, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. The mnemonic fanboys is a good way of remembering them. Here are some examples. The grey bird flew but the blackbird stood still. It started to rain and the wind began to blow. The sun came out so we took off our coats. The athlete ran. The crowd cheered. If you look at each of these sentences, you could take away the conjunctions, or in the last example, the semicolon. Put a full stop between the clauses and a capital letter at the start of the second clause, and they would make sense as a standalone sentence. The grey bird flew. The black bird stood still. It started to rain. The wind began to blow. And so on. Complex sentences. Like compound sentences, complex sentences have more than one clause. However, the relationship between those clauses is different. A complex sentence will have a main clause and one or more subordinate clauses. Subordinate clauses. A subordinate clause is a clause which doesn't make sense on its own. It relies on being linked with a main clause to make sense. It is linked to the main clause with a subordinating conjunction. There are a lot more of these than there are coordinating conjunctions, as you can see from the following list. After, although, as, because, before, even if, even though, if, in order that, once, provided that, rather than, since, so that, than, that, though, unless, until, when, whenever, where, whereas, wherever, whether, while, why. Here are some examples of complex sentences. The teacher asked for her homework because it was late. After dinner, we went to the cinema. You will get in trouble if you do that again. He didn't win the competition as he had filled in his entry form incorrectly. Although it was time to leave, they didn't want to go. Everyone cried when the film ended. Some people say that you should always look on the bright side. The main clauses are in bold. Try reading them on their own, and you will find that they make sense as a complete sentence. The words not in bold are the subordinate clauses. If you try reading them aloud, you will find that they don't make sense as a complete sentence without the main clause. It feels like something is missing. Sentence fragment. Sometimes writers use phrases that are not technically complete sentences. These are known as sentence fragments. These may be accidental errors, but they can also be used for effect. They might be subordinate clauses on their own, such as the ones not in bold in the examples above. But they may also be phrases which lack a verb, for example, the answer to our prayers. Or phrases which lack a subject, for example, running away. A writer might split up a grammatically complete sentence into fragments for effects such as emphasis. For example, imagine a friend writing the following. I've been working on the homework all night without a break and without any sleep because he sent me a 2,000-word essay without any warning 3 days ago. You might be able to see reasons why the friend might want to separate this out into fragments in order to draw attention to how they are feeling about what they have to do. Try reading it aloud. I've been working on the homework all night, without a break, and without any sleep, because he sent me a 2,000-word essay, without any warning, 3 days ago. Activity 1. Allow 10 minutes. Look at the 5 sentences below. For each one, decide whether it is a simple sentence, a compound sentence, a complex sentence or a sentence fragment. 1. We have to go to bed when the clock strikes 11 o'clock. 2. Claire liked Richard's friend and she also liked his brother. 3. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. 4. David and Andrew rode their bikes after they ate lunch. 5. Because you're worth it. Sentence 3 is a simple sentence. Sentence 2 is a compound sentence. Sentences 1 and 4 are complex sentences. Sentence 5 is a sentence fragment. If you got any of these wrong, reread the section on sentence forms. All the techniques you have looked at in this topic may be used to clarify what the writer wants us to understand, create a particular tone or mood, make the writing more engaging. You will look at how writers use some of these techniques, and others, to convey setting and atmosphere later in the course.